Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 35 of the Hrudai Chetan Show podcast. In this inspiring episode, we sit down with Bernhard, a father of five, cancer survivor, and former national water polo team captain. Bernhard made history as the first Austrian to swim the entire length of Lake Constance, 65 kilometers in just 25 hours without a wet suit. He is also the founder of the Alpine 7, a 330-kilometer challenge across seven legendary alpine lakes. His powerful message is goals are stronger than any diagnosis, reflects his journey of resilience, courage, and determination. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands and welcome on the screen Bernard, sir. Are you all excited? Good, and comment below that you are excited. Excited. I am excited to learn. Hello, sir. Welcome. How are you doing?
Welcome to you too. I'm doing good, and you?
Yeah, I'm doing great because I have you on my podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
Uh, So today we're gonna learn something new and also explore different areas of our life. So how excited are you, sir, to be here?
On a scale from 1 to 10, 11.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So now this is my third episode, I can say, for the international podcast. So you are my third guest. Yeah.
I like it.
So, yes. So, welcome again, and let's begin our episode today. What was your childhood like growing up in Austria?
Um, Easy to say it was amazing. So I had really, my parents are amazing people, and they had the luxury that I grew up with three siblings and a cousin. So we had been, let's say, five in total. And we always had either my parents here or my grandmother, there was always somebody here for us. So it was really, really cool to grow up in Austria.
Yeah. Have you come down to India sometime?
Unfortunately, till now, I have not, but I still have it on the bucket list to visit India once in my life.
Yeah. What was your favorite memory in your childhood?
Ooh, that's a tricky question. One memory that's popping up in my mind right now is when I was around about 14 or 15. I was sitting in, we called it the computer room, and you had the look over, so it was a second floor, and you had the look over the garden. And I was sitting there, and on the upcoming weekend, I was allowed to play for the Water Polo Club Tirol as a Chows player, supporting them, which is 200 kilometers from my hometown. And I was thinking about how cool would it be to win a medal. And we were competing just for the third place, which was already a big achievement for us, not knowing that a couple of years later I would win the National League 10 times. But at that moment, it was one of the biggest things which could happen in my life, just winning a Charles medal, bronze medal, to be honest.
By the way, I like your background. Now, what I'm just curious, what is that board which you have displayed? Is it the manifestation that you do?
You mean the manifestation that I did for the medal?
No, the background, the board that you have behind you.
This one here.
Yeah.
This is Banksy. Banksy.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you can see it well, but this is Banksy. I really like his kind of way how he is showing the world what is important and how we act.
wow, amazing. Did you have any early fascinating with water or swimming as a child?
Yes, I was nearly drowning. It's a little bit over dramatic, but I was at the swim training, and we played horse and rider fight where you have somebody on your shoulders, and I was the guy at the bottom, and the guy on top, he was stuck here. He would not let me go, and we fell into the water. And he thought I'm going to stand up again, but I was not able to, and I swallowed so much water. I really had a panic and didn't want to go swim for a couple of weeks because I was afraid of the water, which is strange if you know my background now, because I'm an ultramarathon swimmer now, which is strange, but I was really close to stop swimming just because of that accident.
Right. Can you recall your very first swim or water sports experience?
Oof. The first one, difficult because my parents already took me to a training camp when I was 6 months old. So my father was a water polo player too, and he was I think it was in Hungary, on a training camp, and they took me there. So I assume I was swimming there too, but I have no memories on that one. And the first one I can remember or recall. Or one funny thing is when we were on holiday with my parents and the whole family, my father took us on a mattress, and we were swimming out on the sea, really far out. So the lifeguard was really freaking out, but my dad was self-conscious and self-confident, and always said, "Hey, we're gonna come back," and we made it back, but it was no problem. But that was one of the first, or one of the most impressive swims I had as a
Uh,
child.
yeah, swimming was your passion, or it just came out because your father was one?
It came up because my father was a water polo player, but it became then a passion for, I would say, from the age 8 to 12. I then stopped swimming and moved totally to playing water polo. And at the age of, I think, 16, I moved back a little bit to swimming, still playing water polo, but went once a week to the swim training. And with 18, I stopped swimming and only played water polo.
Yeah. Were you always adventurous as a kid, or did that come later on?
That came later. I was a shy child. Really anxious when I needed to travel to Innsbruck, which is just 200 kilometers as a 15-year-old. I always needed my little brother because I could not make it alone. Strange when you think about me now, but at that time it was not possible for me to travel alone.
Yeah, now we can't get to know that. No, even though if you say that, no, I am not, no, I am shy, we can't believe it.
It was the case.
Yeah. Who or what inspired you to be in this swimming, to become a swimmer?
You mean in the Jaws, or you mean now a couple of years ago?
Yeah, now, couple of years ago.
Um, who inspired me? To be honest, nobody really inspired me. It was more or less after my cancer therapy, I found out that everybody knows somebody with cancer, but we don't talk about it. And I wanted to raise awareness for that one. But after cancer therapy, I needed to find my own identity again. And I stopped playing water polo, and I tried trail running, so running mountains up and down. Not really good when you have nearly 100 kilos. And I realized, hey, I'm a good swimmer. And I then talked to my coach and said, hey, come on, let's do something crazy. Swimming Lake Constance, which is 65 kilometers in one go. And the inspiration came not from a person, it came from a mission that I wanted to raise awareness for people living with an illness. So that's coming from a mission, not from a person. That inspired me.
Did you dream of becoming this when you were a child?
No,
No.
no, never.
How did your childhood training shape the discipline you carry today?
It showed me early on that if you are willing to put in the hard work and you sacrifice yourself, you can achieve a lot. So that's, I think, the main learning from the childhood training or child's
Uh,
training.
were there moments in your youth that taught you resilience and mental toughness?
Mm, I think one of the main teachers for me was when I left school at 17, because I was kind of on the revolution and decided to make an apprenticeship, but also realized during the apprenticeship, which I started with 17, 18, that I need to go back to school because I want to study. And if you don't go back to school, you can't study. So I did apprenticeship and school. So apprenticeship during the day and evening school, and also trained. So put it all together, and that taught me a lot about resilience, because you don't have time for a lot of other things, because you need to be really strict and you need to be every day ready to do the hard work that you can grow.
Yeah. So you have also faced many and many challenges to come up where you are today. So how did you overcome those challenges? What is the mindset that you carry when you get some challenge in life?
So for me, the most important thing is you need to have a why, a goal. So you need to set yourself a goal, because when you have a goal, you have something which you want to go to. The easiest example for me is, if you would like to drive to Paris and you're gonna go by car, you can either drive by luck and try to find it, or you're gonna put it in the GPS. And when you have it in the GPS, you know where to go, and the GPS is going to help you reach your goal. But you need to make it clear which goal where you want to go. Because if you're not gonna put in Paris, you just put in nothing. Maybe you're gonna land in Rome or in Milan or wherever. So the most important thing is that you have a clear goal and that you can work on that one, or towards that one.
Absolutely, yes. If you could give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Keep on doing. You're doing good. I would not change anything.
Right. What inspired you to attempt swimming the entire length of Lake Constance without a wetsuit?
So as mentioned before, that was because of the mission, because I wanted to raise awareness for people living with an illness. So that was my main goal, because I thought, if I'm gonna swim through the lake, I will be able to raise a lot of awareness for the people, which worked, to be honest. And that was my why. So you also had there the goal, the why I wanted to do it, and the why was raising awareness. And that was what brought me through 65 kilometers, or nearly 26 hours of swimming.
Yeah. How did you physically and mentally prepare for a 26-hour swim?
I did the classic one. I did meditation, but not really focused on the swim. What I did a couple or not a couple of times, a lot of times, was visualization. I visualized that I'm going to start. I visualized that I'm going to be in the finish line. But I also visualized that I'm going to have pain, which is part of swimming 26 hours. But I never visualized that I'm going to give up. So that was never part of the visualization. And the most important thing in the beginning was always thinking about why. And I like to ask myself, why? So that to really dig down to the real why. And the real why is raising awareness for people living with an illness.
Right. Amazing. So, can anyone who is watching this podcast can also use these steps that you follow before you go for any swim or any situation in life what people face? Can they also use these steps what you also follow? Yeah.
You definitely can do, because the most I call it swim, SWIM. And the most important thing is self-leadership. So self-awareness. You need to know why you're going to do something. And if you cannot lead yourself, how can you lead somebody else? And it's the same for a lake. If you're going to stand on the side, you need to know why you're going to do it, because otherwise you're not going to succeed. You then have the I, which the W, which stands for your willpower. You need to know your why, because when you know your why and your willpower, that's going to drive you through the lake, because you will have mental breakdowns during such a long time, and you need to have your will, because motivation will fade, but the clarity about your will and your goal will bring you to the other side. We then have I, which stands for inner balance, which means you need to be balanced, because if you're not balanced internal, you will never succeed. So you need to find a way how you can balance. For example, meditation, for example, visualization. You need to find something that's going to bring you through the lake if there is a storm coming up. not talking about the real storm, but in a metaphor. Because when there is a storm, you still need to glide through the water. So you need to find the inner balance. And the last thing, the M, is momentum. You need to know really crystal clear how you're gonna do it and how you're gonna bring it to paper. Because if you're gonna bring it to paper, the chances that you're gonna stick to it and that you're gonna keep it is much higher. What I did, I'm not sure if you know it, the Harada method. You have one big goal, you have 8 sub goals, and each sub goal has 8 sub goals. So you really know on a daily how you say, on a daily task what you need to do to achieve the big goal.
Right. So you also use manifestation.
Yes.
How do you use it in a effective way so that you can achieve it? Give some example if you have also achieved your manifestation.
So from the beginning on, for me was the manifest was I'm going to swim that lake. I don't care what's going to happen. I'm going to swim that lake. And the chance that I'm gonna swim the lake until the end was 5%. But I said the 5% is my 100%. Why? Because I only can control what I can control and forget the rest. I am only focusing on what I can do, and that's it. So, for example, I cannot control if there are currents against me or in my favor. I cannot control the weather. I cannot control the temperature of the water. That's out of my control. I can control how often we eat, what do we eat, how do I think, and if my material, my goggles, my swim cap, and my trousers are really prepared. That's it. Focus
Yeah.
on the basics.
Wow. Amazing. So during the swim, were there moments when you felt like quitting? How did you push through?
I had a big mental breakdown already 8 kilometers after the start. So I really wanted to quit because I was overthinking. I was thinking about the night is coming up. I'm an imposter. I'm not good enough. I'm a water polo player. I'm not a swimmer. It's going to get cold. Do I really have enough experience with the nutrition? Can I really do that? So all the things went through my head. But the good thing was my wife and my sister have then sent me a voice message, and they sang a song which is called "I'm a Big Big Girl" from Emilia, which carried me through hundreds of trainings as a student, as a water polo player. And as I've heard this song, there was a click in my head, and I knew from that moment on I'm going to swim the 57 kilometers until the end. I'm not going to stop. So this was the one switch that I needed to really be focused and let's go.
Wow, super. So that one uh, thought, one click, one motivation just
Yeah.
pushed you through. Yeah, amazing. So, few people uh, love swimming, but they just don't want to get into the water. What is the thought that you would want to say?
For people who don't want to go into the water,
Yeah, but they love swimming.
you mean open water.
Yeah,
If you would like to go to open water, my first advice is don't do it alone, because it's first of all it's dangerous because there's always a little percentage that something can happen. So do it together. Bring a friend, bring your coach, bring your wife, bring your husband, bring your kids, and do it together, because then it's even more fun. And if something is fun, you're gonna like it.
yeah. So you also enjoy it together
I love
doing.
it. I love
Yeah.
it. And talking about when we said before that I had the panic attack, overthinking because of the night, it was the coolest and most meditative thing I've ever done. It was just me, the boat, and the night, and nothing else. It was really like just swimming, no noise, nothing. It was really, really meditative, meditation pure.
Wow. So you just went alone there?
No, I had a boat next to me
Mhm.
with my support crew on it, and they also feeded me every 20 minutes.
Okay, amazing. So you have also founded the Alpine 7. How
Yes.
did you come up with this? What's the idea behind?
So the idea behind the Alpine 7 is, again, raising awareness for people living with an illness. And the first idea was just swimming Lake Constance. But if you want to swim Lake Constance, you need to bring a so-called cold water certificate where you prove that you can swim for 8 hours in cold water. And I thought, okay, I have a big lake here in front of my house, or 10 kilometers from here. I'm going to take that lake. So that means I already have this lake swimming the whole length. I have Lake Constance. Hey, let's make it a little bit bigger. And then I thought, okay, how could I do it? Hey, I'm living here in the Alps, amazing place. We have amazing lakes here. Let's just take the most iconic 7 lakes and call it the Alpine 7. That's the whole story.
Wow, amazing. So, why did you choose these seven specific alpine lakes for the challenge?
I could not tell you a really amazing story, but the truth is, I asked ChatGPT, can you give me the most 7 iconic lakes in the Alps? And he came up with a couple of, and I chose that 7.
Wow, amazing. So, ChatGPT is the best friend of ours.
It's a good assistant, yeah.
Yeah. What do you hope people take away from watching or following this journey?
That we talk about illness, so that we're not gonna keep it for us, so that we try to be open when we have an illness or when we know somebody with an illness, because it's already tough to go through a therapy. But if people are supporting you, it's even easier, or it's getting easier.
Your motto is goals are stronger than any diagnosis. How has this belief guided your life?
So during my therapy, I have seen a lot of people who had a terrible diagnosis. Most of them a death diagnosis, to be honest, but they were still alive, and I didn't understood why. And what I realized talking to them was they all had a goal. For example, um, bringing my daughter to the altar when they're going to have her wedding, or writing my book, or just a goal that was really important for them. And that goal gave them so much strength that they were able to live longer than everybody expected. And one of my slogans is, not the illness is defining you, because you cannot do anything. You get the illness. That's point. That's not going to define you, hopefully. What's going to define you is the goal that you set for yourself, because that's something that you can influence. The illness you can't influence. That's out of your control. But you can influence and control your goal.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone who feels stuck or defeated by their circumstances?
Tough one. Try to look for a goal, because if you have something that you really love, and it needs to be a strong goal, or not a goal or passion. It doesn't need to be a goal. It can also be a passion, but it needs to be something that's really important for you, and try to become the master in that one if it's a passion, and or reach that goal, because this is giving you so much strength. Don't always think about the therapy. Let the doctor do the job. Focus on what you can control, and that's your passion or your goal.
Yeah. No point in having control which you can't control. Just,
Exactly.
yeah, that's the main.
Don't focus on things that you can't control. For example, the weather. That's out of your control. Make the best out of it.
What advice would you give to someone, where they are not able to create goals and also manifest? What would you want to tell them?
Think about what gives you energy. Think about what you like to do. It doesn't need to be love, but what you like to do, and then drill down, because there is always something that you really loved as a child, for example, or as a sport that you did, or a hobby that you had. Try to look for that one, because if you have that one, lean into it. And when you lean into it, you can see the goal or the passion is coming.
Now, how is swimming for you?
Um, cool and tough, to be honest. Cool because it's swimming is a cool sport. Tough because I'm a former water polo player, still a water polo player in my heart. But the technique as a water polo player is totally different than a long distance swimmer. So I'm doing a shorter stroke, and as a long open water swimmer, you should do a long stroke, which I'm not capable to do at the moment. So I'm still working on that one. So the main focus the next couple of weeks is indeed on technique.
Mm. Is it easy to swim in the open water?
Yes and no. It all depends if you're prepared or not.
Mm.
If you prepare yourself, it's an easy and cool sport. If you're not prepared, don't do it.
Right. So, what are the key physical and mental skills needed for long distance open water swimming?
I can only talk for myself, and for me, it's the mental strength. Because if your goal is big enough, you can also succeed with a bad technique, which I, in my case, have. You need to be crystal clear why you're going to do it, because this is the first and most important thing also of my swim method. You need to know why, because you need to be clear why I'm doing it, and you also need to be clear what's the will behind it. And if that's clear for you, let's go.
Yeah. How different is training for competitive water polo compared to training for a 65-kilometer endurance swim?
Two words. Water polo is a team sport, so you're gonna train always with the team. You do a lot of gym, you do a lot of sprint training, you do a lot with the ball. Long distance swimming is mainly, for me, it was the case, mainly training alone, mainly training in the early mornings because I also have a full-time job in the family, and just swimming. No ball, no. We did gym, but not that much as a water polo player, so only twice a week. But it's more or less swimming. We did a lot of intervals too, but it's not having a team. So I only had my coaches via online, via WhatsApp mainly, or phone call. And at the pool, I was always alone.
Right. So, if anyone wants to swim, what is the first step that they need to take?
Look for a good coach. Start looking for a good coach and learn the fundamentals. If you have the basics, it's like riding a bike. You can do it for the rest of your life. If you don't have the right technique, it's a tough one.
Hmm. What role does breathing technique play in maintaining stamina over long distances?
It's a crucial part because if you're not gonna breathe correctly, you're gonna have a big challenge. And you also need to get used to that you only breathe every second or every third stroke, because you cannot just breathe when you want. You can only breathe when the stroke is done. So you need to prep that up front. So just thinking, hey, out of fun, I'm going to do breathing in water, difficult. You need a couple of, I would not say years, but you need a couple of trainings to really get into it.
So, I think uh, there is a different way to breathe in water. Yeah.
It is it's a different way. So I'm normally gonna breathe every second stroke. So I'm going to swim and then breathe again. So I cannot breathe like if I'm running. I can only breathe when I have done the stroke.
Hmm. Yeah. If you go underwater, what's the thing there?
You mean the head going underwater, or if I'm going to dive?
Yeah. When your head
You mean the
goes
head?
into the water.
So if the head is going to into water, it's like
Oh,
letting out the air, and when you go to the side, you're gonna breathe in the air again.
wow. So, have you also gone to scuba diving?
No, yeah, I did, but I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest.
Right. How is Austria right now?
We have a couple of clouds, and I assume that the rain is coming today.
Right. So, what are some unexpected challenges of swimming in open water for over 20 hours?
What were unexpected challenges during the session? Yeah, the first one was the panic attack. That was unexpected. The second one, but that's a positive one, was that I was able to keep all the nutrition. So we just did basics, and that really, really worked well. So big kudos to my coach, Samuel Grill, who did an amazing job here. Also, unexpected was that 12 kilometers before the end, I was starting again to overthink because I was making a calculation. So I'm going to swim 3 kilometers per hour. So it's 12 kilometers to go. So it's around about 4 hours to swim. Okay, but I'm currently just swimming 2 kilometers per hour. That means it's at least 6 more hours. Oof. And then I stopped thinking about that one, and I did something totally unexpected for me. And I said, I'm now going to swim from kilometer 12.5 till 11.5. Then from 11.5 till 10.5. Sounds super simple, but that saved my ass because I was only focusing on the next kilometer. It was really cool.
Mm, right. How do you manage cold water, currents, and fatigue without a wetsuit?
Um, that's again something which I cannot control because we had out of 65 kilometers, we had 50 kilometers the current against us, which was a tricky one, but I cannot control that one. So I forgot that one. Swimming without a wetsuit was okay because the water was 21, 22 degrees, and I was used to that one. So that was not the challenge. And mentally, from the fatigue perspective, there was never an issue because I cannot explain it why, but I assume that you're also going to go into kind of a meditative state, and that's going to give you back energy. Sounds a little bit silly, but that's at least what I believe.
Right. Did you face any dangerous moments like cramps or wildlife during your swim?
No, in the lakes that I swim, there is not really uh, dangerous wildlife, so no sharks, no crocodiles, no hippos or something like that. So we had nothing in that direction. We had a little bit of a tricky situation
Mhm.
because we came into a sailing regatta where a lot of big sailing boats had a race, and we went directly through them. They were not that happy, and they came a little bit. Yeah, some of them came a little bit too close to our boat, but we managed that one too.
Mm. How do you see extreme water sports evolving in the future?
I think not extreme, but I'm talking about open water. I think this has a big future because it's people connecting with the nature. It's also going to give them a challenge which is not easy to handle. And you also, once you get into the fire of open water, you're not, I think you're not going to leave it because you fell in love.
Yeah. What advice would you give to young athletes interested in water sports and endurance swimming?
Focus on the basics first and don't overthink it. Do it step by step. You will do really, or you will become really successful if you master the basics and if you master them really, really pretty good. So just don't give up, set your goal, and then do the daily grind that's needed and keep on going until you have succeeded.
Hmm. Is it compulsory to have a physical activity while you are studying in your life?
Yes, I always need it. I always need the physical support or physical, not support, physical exercise, which is going to help me relieve all the stress. Also in my daily life as a manager, it's super helpful. If you're gonna have a stressy day in the office or at the customer, and you're gonna do a sport and you can release your brain for 30 to 60 minutes, that's the biggest help ever.
Hmm. How did you stay motivated during tough times at a young age?
You just need to have your goal. When your goal is crystal clear, there is no problem with motivation because you know why you're going to do it. So I'm not a big fan of motivation. I'm a big fan of having a clear goal because if you have set your goal, you don't need any motivation because you know why you do it.
Yeah. What advice would you give teenagers who feel lost or unsure about their passions?
Don't stress. You're young. You're going to work until 70, 75 in some countries or even 80. Don't stress. Find your passion, find what you're good at, focus on what you're good at. So your strengths, don't focus too much on your weaknesses, because if you're gonna focus on your strengths, you always will be successful.
Hmm. How can young people start building discipline through sports or daily habits?
Just do it. Set yourself a goal and then do the daily grind that's needed. So if you would like to, it's again coming back to, if your goal is important enough for you, you don't need any motivation or discipline because you will do what's needed. If your goal is vague or you're unsure, you need a lot of motivation because maybe not gonna do the things that needed to be done when times are getting tough. So make clear what's your goal. Make it crystal clear.
Yeah. Can sports teach life skills like confidence and resilience?
Definitely. Yeah.
So, how has this sport taught you confidence and resilience?
When you get good at something, you naturally get confidence because
Yeah,
if you're good at something, that's giving you confidence. So find the sport that you like, try to become as good as you can become, and that's giving you confidence because it's super helpful. And resilience in every sport, you're gonna have how you say um, beat downs. You're gonna have bad moments. You're gonna think you will question yourself. That's normal for doing a sport, but that's also the resilience that you need to build up because life is not just we say a pony cake. It's super difficult to stay focused on what you want to do because when you have learned that one, that will help you the whole life.
yeah. As a teenager, did you ever face failure or self-doubt? How did you deal
Yeah.
with it?
The same like as mentioned here, you need to know why you're going to do it, and if you know your why, you're also going to find ways to succeed when you have a setback.
Yeah. What should teenagers remember when life feels overwhelming?
Sorry again.
Yeah. What should teenagers remember when life feels overwhelming?
um, you're good. Always keep in mind that you are good, and that in my opinion, I have to believe everything that happens to you is happening because of a good reason. Maybe it's sometimes not that clear what's the good reason behind it, but there is a good reason why it has happened to you. So just believe that it has a positive intention behind it.
Yeah. Amazing. Beautiful. So now let's move on to the last part of this episode, and that will be a rapid fire questions one
Ooh,
round. So let's go for it. Are you
shoot me.
excited, sir, for this?
I'm definitely excited. Let me know.
Yeah. Favorite lake you have ever swim in?
Sorry, can you repeat that one?
Favorite lake you have ever swim in?
Lake Constance.
Cold water or warm water?
Cold.
One word to describe your swimming journey.
Mental strength. 2 words.
Pre-swim meal or snack.
Stick.
Most inspiring athlete or role model.
My parents.
Stronger body or mind.
Mind.
Biggest fear before a swim.
Biggest fear before a swim. I can't remember any, to be honest.
Best advice you have ever received.
Follow up. A mentor once told me, you're going to be 100% or 99% more successful than everybody else if you just follow up. And that's so true.
Yeah. One thing you do to stay calm under pressure.
Sport.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, sir. This was just amazing. How did you like today's podcast?
I
And what would
really,
you want to say to me and the audience who is watching?
I really enjoyed it because you also asked a couple of difficult, or tricky, not difficult, tricky questions which made me thinking, which is good. And I like to be challenged. The advice to everybody out there, also to you, make clear what goal you have. If you know the goal, everything else will fall in line.
Yeah, amazing, beautiful. I learned many new things, and also about your swimming journey, and also how teenagers can start their swimming step by step if they would want to, and also about goals manifestation that we spoke today. So this was just amazing. I loved it. So this is it. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, audience, for being a part of this podcast. So looking forward to have you in my next episode. Till then, take care and goodbye.
Rudai, many, many thanks for the invitation.
Thank you so much.